Welcome to the MCPS Mental Health Awareness Week, Day 2. I'm Dr. Christina Connolly, the Director of Psychological Services for MCPS and your host for Tuesday's happenings. Every day during this week, I will be coming to you virtually to give you the daily rundown of the day's breakout sessions and offerings. To help me introduce today's lineup, I am pleased to introduce the Deputy Superintendent of Schools for MCPS, Dr. Monifa McKnight. Welcome to Mental Health Awareness Week.
Good morning, Dr. Connolly. It's good to see you. It's so great to be here to talk about all the things that MCPS is doing to support mental health and well-being. So I'm excited to be here and engage in this discussion with you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. And as we talk about MCPS's commitment to mental health and well-being, and so we do have an understanding that many of our families, may not be willing to have their children participate in mental health. And that's because, there's a long history of people being, potentially like placed in prisons or institutionalized instead of receiving the treatment that we need. And we understand that there is a stigma, but we also realize that poor mental health also does correlate with many of the negative outcomes, including poor academic achievement, behavioral problems, and issues with truancy within our schools. And MCPS has stressed the importance of the development of mental health and social-emotional learning skills and the need for MCPS to provide supports and resources to help our students maximize mental health and well-being. And so with today, our theme is being peaceful. And so, Dr. McKnight, what does being peaceful mean to you? How do you find peace in your life now in comparison to maybe before the pandemic with COVID-19?
Sure. So I think peaceful is an important state of mind because it gets you centered and thinking about your purpose, and no matter what's happening around you, it just keeps you focused. And so I know it's a very important part for me. It was before COVID-19 and still is. And I think given different circumstances, you do different things to find your peace. Like for instance, now it's October, the fall is coming in, and just taking a nice walk on a trail not far from my home where I'm able to see the colors of the trees change and seeing animals run around and just seeing the beauty of nature is a very important part for me to include in my day, because that is what brings peace to me. And sometimes it's just being still, because in the busyness of everything that we're doing, everything we have to do, you just don't have those moments often. And so to take advantage of that and to stop and look around and just honestly see all the things that are beautiful around us that we can just be grateful for is definitely a way that I find peace in these days. And I think it's important for everyone to figure out what that meaningful moment is for them.
Excellent. I mean, when we talk about what you're describing as a concept called visualization and being able to just watch and pay so much attention, like even like when you're looking at the trees, look at the colors, look at if you see any animals, birds, or other things within the trees. I mean, as you're taking this walk, and it helps your mind to kind of relax, stop thinking about maybe some of the stress and pressures that are in your day, and allows you to have a moment where you can just breathe. And so right now, I want us to give an example because these goes into concepts of mindfulness. And if you don't mind and indulge me a little bit, let's just take a brief moment and do just a quick breathing exercise to help us so that, and we can demonstrate to our families just how easy it is just to take a couple of seconds to just be in the moment, to breathe, and it helps your heart rate to go down, helps to not to stimulate those endorphins and hormones that can create feelings of stress, and just helping you to be in this moment. So real quick, and if you want to close your eyes or not, it's okay, but we're just going to do some deep breathing in and out. So I'm going to just sit there and place your hands in your lap, take a moment, and I want you to breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just pause and then breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold it. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. And then breathe back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And then slowly breathe back out. Thank you. And just like that, and for our families that are watching us, you can do that at home, and you can just take a few minutes, just breathing in slowly. You can breathe in through your nose, breathing back out, and just a way of just helping all of us just to calm down, be in the moment, and just helping us to relieve some of the stress that we're all experiencing during this time. And so part of this is also when we think about the importance of mental health. So Dr. McKnight, why do you believe that it is important for us to provide mental health supports for our students and providing supports and interventions for our teachers and even our families?
Absolutely. First, Dr. Conley, thank you for that moment of just taking a deep breath and exhaling. I did not do that before COVID-19, to be very honest. And I actually have the app on my watch that says stop and breathe. And I started doing it over the past few months, and it does make a difference. So for all who observe, do it. It's like a gift that you didn't know existed. In terms of mental health for I'll start with our students. I think it's very important to always remember that our students are, they're young, they're thriving and resilient in a lot of ways. And sometimes because they are young, thriving, and resilient, many tend to look at them and think they have no problems, life is easy, they haven't fully gotten into adulthood yet. But for them, there are so many emotions that they carry as young people, young children trying to figure out who they are when they first come to school. Their friends, our adolescents are always, struggling just at that age that we all know we went through, and trying to figure out, who our friend groups are and how do we make connections with others and build those relationships. And for our high schools as well, I mean, they're thinking about what the next journey is after high school. And all of that brings along stress. And so it's important for us not to look at them and just see them as children or students and think that, oh, they really don't have anything to worry about yet, because they do. And we all manage those things that just aren't always on the forefront. And so for our students, we have to continue to think about what we can do for them, think of age appropriate ways to get them to process their thinking and their feelings, because that's critically important. And that's why I'm so glad we're part of the MCPS family, which we value this and how we work with our students when we're in school, when we're virtually interacting with each other, just knowing that it always has to be a priority. And for our teachers, and our staff members in MCPS, their motto is to give. When you come into education, no matter how you're serving a school system, you are constantly giving and thinking about what you give as service to others and service to our students. And so when you are constantly providing service to another, to think about what it is that you need for yourself to refuel, to provide service for others, is so important. And so for our teachers who basically stand on a stage every day, because that's what teaching is, and being that teacher, that support system, that kind face for students is critical. They have to have a way to refuel themselves and to make sure that they are being taken care of in terms of their own mental wellness and things. And so I'm appreciative for our staff and appreciative for you, Dr. Conley, your staff, for making so many resources available to our staff members, because they need it, they benefit from it, and this has to be at the core of who we are and how we take care of each other. How we take care of each other right now, I cannot say that enough. If I said it a million times, it still wouldn't be enough. We have to take care of each other in any circumstance, but most importantly now, when we're all navigating life circumstances. And for our families, we ask them to engage on this journey with us. If they have not done things to support mental wellness within their households, within their families, let's do it now. It's another way to connect. And even though a family is connected by blood and connect, and interact with one another, to connect in a way to say, how are we taking care of each other's mental state is a different conversation, but a necessary conversation.
Right. And, and really thank you for that, because when we talk with families, many times we talk around, some of the physical health issues that are going on, and we want to make sure that families do understand that the mental health is equally important, because the brain is an organ, just like your heart, your lungs, other things, and you've got to take care of that equally. And so we just want to make sure that our families, do understand this, and we continue to work on the reduction of stigma. And so now, as we're going through our week, we just want to make sure we remind our families that today's tip of the day is to don't forget to breathe. And so, and as we went through our mindfulness activity, we just want to make sure, families remember that, our students remember that, our staff remember that,
Yes.
as a way of helping you and your mental health. It's a simple task that you can do to support your own self-care always. And so, as each day of this week, we will be virtually bringing our community sessions about various aspects of mental health. All of these breakout sessions are on our website. Let's check out some of the sessions and videos available today. We have sessions about finding happiness during COVID, coping with change, self-care and kindness, and managing stress and anxiety. So, Dr. McKnight, as you see our list of videos and sessions that are available, are there any in particular that pique your interest?
Well, they all pique my interest because, again, I think every day brings something different. Every day brings something different. Whether, I could use the example of I could feel very calm in one moment, and then something happens that surprises me, and I'm like, oh, this may present some anxiety for me or for someone else. What do I do? And so just that whole anxiety piece I resonates because I don't consider myself personally an anxious person, but sometimes I think we have these feelings and we haven't even identified exactly what they are yet. Like it could just be worry. And so that one does pique my interest for that reason. And they all, I think, just pertain to each of us in a different way. And I hope to be able to log in and get a glimpse at all of them to see how I can benefit personally and others can benefit from each of the sessions, because I know they're all great and will be helpful.
All right, thank you, Dr. McKnight. And so we are also offering students opportunities to earn Student Service Learning Hours, or SSL hours. There is a link on the website that explains how to do this, but basically students need to watch 2 or more breakout sessions of their choice and write a reflection about what they learned and how they will use what they learned to better their lives and the people in their community.
Thank you, Dr. Conley, for this amazing opportunity for our students to earn SSL hours during this time. Our students are thinking about different ways to help during this pandemic, and many of them have come up with different creative ways, but some of them are also just, sharing concern about, being virtually, not having an opportunity to interact with each other, and it's really hard for them. So students, take this opportunity to treat yourself twice. To one, get in and see what these lessons are all about, and secondly, to be able to earn the SSL hours. So gift yourself twice in this way. And again, thank you, Dr. Conley. This is awesome. What a great idea you all came up with to do this.
Thank you, thank you. And so, because we do want to make sure our students get those necessary hours, and as you said, get the bonus of getting more information about mental health to help them with their education. So I also want our viewers to know that if they miss Monday's keynote address, that they can simply go to www.mcpsmentalhealth.org, go to Monday and click on that link. Dr. McKnight, did you get a chance to watch Dr. Jill Bowenkamp's keynote address?
Yes, Dr. Conley, I did. And I'll tell you what resonated with me was her discussion around resiliency, fostering wellness, and most importantly, knowing that it is okay to say, it's okay not to be okay. That's a challenge for people sometimes. And the thing is, this pandemic has made all of us vulnerable in different ways. And so if we're not okay in one moment, it doesn't mean that we can't do things to get ourselves in a better space, but just to release yourself, to be able to say, I am not okay, is perfectly fine to do so, because then you let others know that you may need help, you may need a listening ear, whatever it may be. So that really resonated with me, and I'm so glad she said that. And And, now is the time that we have to support each other and take care of one another and be kind, most importantly. This is tough for everyone. So I appreciate her comments there.
Yes, absolutely. And I also thought her discussion about how families should take advantage of all the resources MCPS and the county offers. We really do have a breadth of services available to our students, staff, and families.
Absolutely. And I'll also say MCPS has been in partnership with the county because we're looking at this as a whole community responsibility. And when we look at it as a whole community responsibility, that means there aren't these lines that stops the services, but we look at how we are supporting the children, our children's parents, their siblings, everyone, the entire family. And that's a benefit to how we work together here in Montgomery County as well, which I am so grateful to be a part of this community for that purpose. So yeah, that's important.
Yes, no, and thank you. And, and as we're providing these services also for our Mental Health Awareness Week, it's just another available resource for our families in order to get information about the services available here in MCPS and also available throughout the county. And so I want to thank you. So this was a huge effort, but worth it. And before we sign off today, I want to make sure everyone knows about Saturday's live mental health resource fair and Q&A session. This is going to be hosted on Zoom, and this webinar will feature panelists from MCPS, county agencies, and nonprofits about a variety of mental health services that are available. The community can join the webinar to ask questions to these experts or watch it live on YouTube. This event is on Saturday from noon to 1:30 p.m. Links to attend can be found on the website under Saturday's offerings. And folks can submit their questions in advance by going to the website and clicking the Submit a Question button. Dr. McKnight, will you be joining that event?
I definitely will be joining. I look forward to seeing so many participants log in based on our discussion today. So I'll be there, and I look forward to seeing everyone else there as well.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, Dr. McKnight, so I enjoyed talking with you today. Thank you for helping me share Tuesday's happenings with our community.
My pleasure. Great to connect with you and our families.
All right, so that is all for today. See you tomorrow for day 3 of the MCPS Mental Health Awareness Week. Be well, be safe, and be peaceful. Bye.